what I tell people is I build businesses based on the principles of science and spirituality. So for you, that could be Christianity. For somebody else, that could be Islam. Somebody else, that could be Judaism. But it's spirituality, and how you want to interact with your spiritual self is what you do. So think about it like this: the science is the what. What's happening with me? Like somebody needs to explain what just happened with my body. Why am I doing this? Blah, blah, blah. That's the what. The spiritual part is the how. So that's the, okay, now how you get over this is you need to pray. Okay, how you move through this, you need to meditate. Okay, how you do this in XYZ, you need to interact with energy and all that. So read the Bible, like that's the how. So I implement the what and the how to create business. Why? Because God gave the perfect business model to create me and you.
Right.
He gave the science, he gave the spiritual part. So why not apply that to business?
Of course.
So I use those same frameworks to apply to business. As a matter of fact, I use King Solomon's framework to business.
Right.
King Solomon was a consultant at first.
Yep.
Solomon, the second stage of King Solomon's wealth was that he went in to speak to the people, the Colosseum, the masses. So I said, okay, I need to be on TV. Okay, I need to get on social media. I need to put myself on camera. I need to speak to Carl. I need to do these type of things. Speak to the masses. Third step of King Solomon's business model was cash flow. Money has always got to be moving. So I'm like, okay, money's got to be moving here. I need a savings account. I need an IRA. I need to invest in the stock market. I need to do King Solomon's business model. It's in the Bible. This is the spiritual part. This is written. So I apply that to my business.
Good day, everybody. Welcome to Friends with Businesses, where I introduce you to my friends with businesses, and I know you're going to benefit. Today, I got my good brother, Michael Blunt. We went to Hampton together, student leaders, so we have true affinity and have, gone through the trenches. If anybody's a Hamptonian and a student leader, when I say go through the trenches, you know exactly what I mean. You got to do a lot, right?
Mangana days.
Like I tell you all the time, look, I'm Mangana made, y'all.
The Mangana haze.
Brother, indeed. But man, Mike, I'm gonna let you go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell the people what you do, and we're gonna dive right into how you got into it and what you do for the people.
Absolutely, man. Carl, thanks for having me, man. I always admired you at HU, and I love what you're doing right now. Thank you for giving me this platform. So for those who don't know me, my name is Michael A. Blunt, and I'm an executive mindset coach and founder of the Business Mindset Collective. And within the Business Mindset Collective, I've had the privilege of mentoring, hundreds of CEOs, entrepreneurs, athletes, celebrities, and business owners from being stuck in the mindset of stuck to activating their subconscious mindset shifts to reach new levels of success in their business. So, what we've done is BMC has become the destination for entrepreneur advancement because we specialize in creating a fully integrated platform that takes you from level to level, but that includes courses, monthly mentoring by me and a community of mindset coaches that will help you in your business. But that's not the kicker. The kicker for Business Mindset Collective is that it's scientifically backed and spiritually grounded so that you can get tangible results in your business. So what I do is I integrate business, spirituality, and science so we can know what we're doing, why we're doing it, how to do it, and then the infrastructure to actually build it. And I want to bring this to my community. So thank you, Carl.
No, man, no, that's excellent. That's excellent. And because as you said you started off with that you're a executive mind coach. So you primarily do this for CEOs, high level CEOs, or how do you even get into this?
Yeah, so I consider an executive anyone who takes control over their lives, and anyone who's a leader, and anyone who has the agency to actually start something, finish it, or begin with something and actually finish it. So I say executive because executive is a mindset, wealth is a mindset. Entrepreneurship is a mindset. And so all these things are mindset. And once you actually understand the mindset behind it, and then you can start putting monikers behind anything, and then you can start acting as if in order to attract that reality to come into physical fruition. So that's why, I work with people at different levels of their business, but everybody's an executive.
No, I'm glad that you really defined that, because, most of the time people hear the word executive and they always go to, my CEO, CFO, COO, my management. But what you're saying is somebody could be a street sweeper and essentially be an executive if they've decided to take the agency over their mind and how they're doing it. No, I'm glad you did that, because, one thing that I don't want people to do is feel like when they hear something that they have to wait to do it.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you can actually be this wherever you are, in life, wherever you are in your stage of business, wherever you are in your stage of even your career. Maybe you have a dream of doing something, but if you take the executive actions now, by the time you get there, it's a lot better. So thanks so much for that clarity. So how'd you get into this?
Man, after I came out of Hampton, I started working as, I was computer science undergrad, computer science and mathematics. So I started doing that. And then about 3 years after that, I went to business school at Kellogg Northwestern School of Business. And so I did that for a bit. And then after that, I got my computer science degree. So I was engineering, got my MBA. And then about 10 years later, I had this huge spiritual awakening, like, I don't want to do this anymore. And what led to that is, I had this vision. I'm climbing the corporate ladder, and this is what I want to do. And I'm going to be a corporate guy. I never envisioned having my own business because that wasn't taught to me. I grew up in survival. Now, I didn't grow up in a hood or anything, but I'm talking about the mindset. The mindset, get a good job, get your 401k, get yourself a good wife, and get yourself a dog and a white picket fence, because that's the American dream. And retire by the age of 60 or whatever, and just kind of ride it out with the grandkids. That was passed on for me to me from generation to generation. That's what I thought that I needed to live up to. What I realized was that wasn't my destiny, and that because that wasn't my destiny, that made me unfulfilled. And so I was very depressed. I was stressed. I was so stressed at work because that wasn't where I was supposed to be, that I started developing stress hives all over my body. Like I just broke out these big boils all over my body, and I developed TMJ. So for anybody who's ever dealt with anxiety and stress, TMJ is where you have to get a mouth guard to stop from grinding your teeth at night because you're grinding them down from the stress. Yeah. So I had both things going on, and I was having constant panic attacks, which eventually placed me in New York Medical Hospital. And so I was in the emergency room because I couldn't breathe. I was in the middle of a business meeting, couldn't breathe. And, that's what happened. And at that point, I asked the doctor, I said, hey, what's going on with me? What's the problem? Am I dying? Is it my health? What's going on? He said, actually nothing. This is all emotional. This is all stress induced. And I was like, my stress can create stress hives over my body. My stress can make me grind my teeth down at night. He's like, yeah, blew my mind. I wasn't taught this. In my community, we weren't taught about mental health and how that can affect you physically. We're just now getting into it. And also, what we still haven't talked about in the community is how this really impacts you physically. We talk about the psychological, like, hey, this can lead to depression, that depression can lead to suicide, all these different things. But physically, stress is the #1 serial killer in the world. Stress and anxiety. So when I connect those two, I said, I can't live my life like this anymore. Because before I got on a doctor's bed, I was contemplating suicide. And I was like, this isn't my life isn't worth living. Nobody's going to care. So when I got to the hospital, I said, I can't do this anymore. I immediately quit my corporate job, and I just started living my passion. And how that happened was somebody told me, one of my homegirls told me, she said, hey, listen, you're going through a breakup, because I was going through a breakup at the same time. I was trying to leave my job. I hated my work. So everything, the whole world was falling out on me.
Man.
I was sitting over at night listening to 112 and Brian McKnight. And I was like, just hurt.
Oh man, you was down to key.
I was hurting. So, and she said, listen, if you meditate and you put a rose quartz crystal in your heart as you meditate, and then everything's going to change for you. I said, first of all, what is meditation? This was 2016. So I looked up on YouTube. YouTube wasn't popping the way that it is now.
Right.
So I looked up some stuff. I asked some friends and said, how do I meditate? They said, just sit there and close your eyes. I said, okay, I'll do that. I said, what is a rose quartz crystal? They said, go buy this pink rock in Times Square, or no, on 14th and something in New York. And they were like, go to Namaste bookstore and buy this pink rock and put it on your. I was like, okay. And I said, hey, can I have a pink rock? They said, a rose quartz crystal. I was like, listen, lady, I feel like you're cussing at me right now. I said a pink rock. I didn't know what any of this stuff was, bro.
Yeah. No, I get it.
So I went home, meditated, put a pink rock on my heart, and I cried like a baby for 2 weeks straight. This is in 2016. I had my spiritual awakening. Everything started happening. And from there, that's when I completely changed my life. And I said, I'm going to dedicate my life to the service of others, but I'm going to do that in a way where I'm going to become wealthy, because I ain't about to be a beggar contributing to others. So that's how this all happened.
No, man, hey, that's an amazing story, man. And I know a lot of people, and I even know myself. And, that story is probably something a lot of us, especially Black men, have gone through, where, between a failed relationship, being in a job you don't necessarily want, because we're trying to, as we talked about earlier, have that perfect life that we thought we were supposed to have. And it's just not happening. Like you said, we're not walking in our purpose. We're walking in somebody else's purpose, or, what somebody else's dream or their goal or aspiration is, and how unhealthy. And I don't use buzzwords a lot, but how toxic, literally the literal word toxic, as you said, that can be, where it's, inside the body and eating away at it and causing you, not to even live, breathe, the way that you want to. And, but it is great that you had that awakening, and, I'm a Bible thumper, right? And it reminds me even of the story of Paul, right? On the road to Damascus, we had to have an awakening, in order to walk into his purpose, And, and I know some people, they hear the crystal and the meditation and all that type of stuff, and they get spooked out. But I would encourage them to really even study the Bible and see where they're in there, right? I won't get too deep into it, but the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. So, before you get spooked out by that stuff, know that, if, in developing your relationship with the Most High, look and see some of these things and how they work, from the oils to things in the earth and all that type of stuff, things that we've been told are quote unquote witchcraft. But if anything that's submitted to the Most High, can, and it is according to his will, it can be used. So don't be afraid of it. Like the scripture even says, meditate on his word day and night. So I just want to throw that out there before people are like, oh, who you got on your podcast?
You brought up a good point, because what I tell people is I build businesses based on the principles of science and spirituality. So for you, that could be Christianity. For somebody else, that could be Islam. Somebody else, that could be Judaism. But it's spirituality, and how you want to interact with your spiritual self is what you do. So think about it like this: the science is the what's happening with me. Somebody needs to explain what just happened with my body. Why am I doing this? Blah, blah, blah. That's the what. The spiritual part is the how. So that's the, okay, now how you get over this is you need to pray. Okay, how you move through this, you need to meditate. Okay, how you do this in XYZ, you need to interact with energy and all that. So read the Bible, like that's the how. So I implement the what and the how to create business. Why? Because God gave the perfect business model to create me and you.
Right.
He gave the science, he gave the spiritual part. So why not apply that to business?
Of course.
So I use those same frameworks to apply to business. As a matter of fact, I use King Solomon's framework to business.
Right.
King Solomon was a consultant at first.
Yep.
Solomon, the second stage of King Solomon's wealth was that he went in to speak to the people, the Colosseum, the masses. So I said, okay, I need to get on TV. Okay, I need to get on social media. I need to put myself on camera. I need to speak to Carl. I need to do these type of things. Speak to the masses. Third step of King Solomon's business model was cash flow. Money has always got to be moving. So I'm like, okay, money's got to be moving here. I need a savings account. I need an IRA. I need to invest in the stock market. I need to do King Solomon's business model. It's in the Bible. This is the spiritual part. This is written. So I apply that to my business. That's what we're doing.
But no, man, like no, that's amazing, man. So like no, I'm really happy that I got you on here because like I said, man, it's something that a lot of us really heavily go through. I deal with clients all the time who, they're scared. They're in business and they're scared. They started this and some still have a 9 to 5, but some are like, look, either I quit my job, I've gotten laid off, and so I'm now trying to go do my passion. But there's a huge amount of fear there.
Yeah.
And they're looking for a consultant to be a savior, right? And I say, I'm here to help guide you. Management consultants do not make management decisions. We make strong suggestions. We help you implement all that type of stuff. But the only person that can really make your business happen is you. It's you. I can do, like my company, we built the funnels out. We get the marketing strategy. We help write the business. It's so, and I'm even trying to narrow down even what I do. Can't do everything, but I do as much as I can for my clients. But when it comes down to it, it's their business. But their mind is in, they have a savior complex. Like somebody's supposed to do this for me. But what I'm hearing you say is you be the executive of your business.
Exactly. Because, at the Business Mindset Collective, I discovered a formula for success. And the formula for success is 80% mindset and 20% actions. And so what happens is your mindset is at different levels. And there's 4 different levels of business mindset. There's level 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's say if you're at level 1, imagine level 1 being the first floor of your apartment. When you walk outside of the door, what do you see? You see cars, pigeons, people, trees, maybe the park, something like that, right? Now, if you move to the penthouse, what do you see? The whole city.
Yep.
So if you elevate your mindset, you're going to have access to different tools, different opportunities, different people. If you're asking for something, and let's say if you're taking a spiritual approach, I'm asking and I'm praying from God. But if you're praying from God from a mindset of the first floor, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get the pigeons, you're going to get the people, you're going to get the street. But if you're praying and you're meditating, and you're asking from a level 4, the penthouse, then you're going to see the whole world. You're going to see the cities next door. You're going to see Bed-Stuy. You're going to see Brooklyn. You're going to see all these other places because your mind is free. And you're able to see more at an elevated mindset. So if we give you the mindset and we program you to be at a higher level of mindset, then the instructions, the actions, the 20% is easy. Because you're like, oh, all I got to do is this. A, 1 + 1 = 2. But if you're at level 1, trying to do what the people at the penthouse do, and you're always going to be trying to look up with binoculars and moving, it's cloudy right now, I can't really see, and let me go on Google to see the other city. It's like, it's complicated. That's why people are stuck in their own way right now. And that's why there's a lot of fear, because they don't really see clearly what their vision is.
I love that. Nah, that's necessary. Yeah. And again, we all can use an elevation in our mindset, what I'm saying? Because there's always another level to go to, always, like literally always. They asked Warren Buffett, how much money is enough money? He said, $1 more, right? like $1 more. Like, what do you mean? One more? Like, the next dollar, the next dollar.
Yeah.
That's. I mean, you can have goals and milestones, but when you're really in this, when you're really in this, that there's always the process. There's always more improvement, more iterations, things you do, that you're moving up to. So, walk me through someone coming through your doors. Excuse me. Walk me through somebody coming through your doors or signing up for your program. How did it start? What do they do? Yeah.
Well, first they made the decision that they want to get to work. They're like, okay, I'm gonna take this chance because I really want to not only move to the next level, but I want to do that in an accelerated way. So you can have a 10-year plan, but what we say is, hey, your 10-year plan, we want to bring that into a 1-year fruition. So this is called quantum shifting, bending reality, and grabbing your future and bringing it into the present. This is timeline shifting. And so we're able to do that. So people sign up, and as soon as they sign up, they're introduced to 3 different things. They can start doing the course, 21 days to mindset mastery. So this is a 21-day self-study course where you can instantly reprogram your mindset to an elevated level of executive, CEO, whatever that might be. And it's a biohacking tool that will instantly provide you with more productivity, reduce your cognitive load, and just reprogram you to a higher level of not only thinking, but also output and just being. So this also transform you at a personal level as well as in your business. Second thing is they'll get introduced to the community. The community, we have a community full of mindset coaches that have already done this and they've ascended to different levels, et cetera. So if I'm at a level 3 is somebody who's making $1 million and up. Then I'm going to go back and I'm going to mentor level 1 and level 2. Level 1 is somebody who's making below 6 figures. Level 2 is somebody who's making between 6 figures and $1 million. And so I'm going to go back and say, hey, how do we apply and how do we build your business and get you from level 1, which is below 6 figures, we break 6 figures into multi 6 figures using the principles of science and spirituality. And I'm going to teach you how to do that as a millionaire. These are the things that I've done. So we have mindset coaches on staff to help you to do that. And then you get monthly mentorship from me. This is where all the community comes together and I'm teaching you all the frameworks, all the things, and we're going through 12 different topics of category that you can reprogram. The different categories would be like your business, your personal life, your spiritual life, your health, just different categories that, relate to your personal life. And from there, it's a fully integrated platform where you're going from level 1 to level 2. Carl, if you're at a level 2 and you're like, hey man, I'm already at 6 figures. I'm good. I don't really need stuff. Okay, well, all right, brother, but we're trying to get you from 6 figures to $1 million. There's different tools that you need. Think about it like a video game. Level 1, you might just be fighting people with your hands. Level 2, somebody gives you a knife. Level 3, you got guns. Level 4, you're in a spaceship and you blowing up stuff with rockets. So every single level is going to require a different version of you, but also different tools. You can't use, you're saying, hey, I was meditating and visualizing in level 1. You can't use those same tools in level 2. But a lot of people try to use level 1 tools to get to level 2, and they're wondering, why am I stuck? It's a different mindset. It's a different tool set. So we teach you that in our platform. And that's what and that's why people stay on the platform and they're like, hey man, I ain't leaving because I got everything I need here. I got millionaires teaching me how to make 6 figures.
No, that's amazing. But I think, and even as you say that, that's everywhere, right? Like for instance, I talk about the friend zone in business, where we start off and we're marketing to our friends, our friends and family. Then of course, if you have a larger network, it seems like it's a little bit easier if you have a smaller network. Those who have a larger network, they get a little bit comfortable because they can always go to their friends. Somebody always needs a photo shoot. Somebody always needs a haircut. Somebody always needs this, that, the other. But it's easy to offer them that, right? It's easy offers. And I actually did a video on it about a year ago on escaping the friend zone. That's that small circle. You can please these people relatively easy, but the thing about it, you can't charge them as much, right?
Yeah.
But see, then you get to that associate zone with the friends of friends zone. You can charge a little bit more. They actually expect less than your friends. They're easier to please. They're easier to get because the relationship's not there. They're not, expecting the world from you because they've invested so much in you personally. And then you get to that, that stranger zone, which is where we all want to be, where people, they find you it's only based upon what you do, which is a level of trust that allows you to charge your maximum amount, because all people see is you as a result. They don't see you as when you were a kid or when you were in college or when you all this, that, and the other, where they know some of the slip ups, the foul, the the falls that you've had, the mistakes you've made. They're like, you just Mike, you just Carl, man. I remember, you was at the Legion, saying falling down doing this, that, yeah, So like, subconsciously that always hinders people from giving you what you deserve and even implementing everything that you say, unless they've had a mindset shift about themselves because I recognize that I'm so different than who I was 20 years ago. And so and I look at you and you're in a completely different place. So I'm like, okay, if I've done all this over the last 20 years to do what I'm doing, he's done this over the last 20 years to do what he's doing, then I can look, I can see you eye to eye. So instead of looking at, hey, look, this is Mike, man. We was drinking this,
And you know what? We're still doing it. But you know what? and you know what? I'm gonna tell my people this. When you pay attention.
Come on now.
When you make people pay, they pay attention.
Yeah.
If I'm the best, people don't expect me to be cheap. If I'm a cheap, people don't expect me to be the best. So if that is the case, that means that you need to raise your level of self-worth. I tell people all the time, if you want to scale your business, what's the way that you scale your business? And most people tell me, okay, let me network, let me grind, let me work harder, let me read up on this, let me all this. And I'm like, okay, that's great. But that's the 20%, that's the actions. What's the mindset? The mindset is if you want to scale your business to whatever, 6 figures to a million, 0 to 6 figures, whatever that might be, you need to increase your level of self-worth. Your level of self-worth is in direct correlation with how much you're getting paid and how much you can charge. Why? I'll give you a good example. Let's say me and you, Carl, we out here and we over here slanging, I don't know, bootleg videos. and you say, hey, listen, I'm going to sell you the Dave Chappelle collection for $5. And I'm like, all right, cool. But I say, hey, man, listen, I'm going to sell you the Dave Chappelle collection for $10. I mean, excuse me, for $100. And it's because it's better quality and I produced it. And, and Dave Chappelle actually looked at it and he was like, hey, that's a good knockoff. You should go ahead and sell that on the street too, And the only difference between me and you is my level of self-worth. I believed that I was $100. You believed you were $5. That's it.
It's true.
That's it.
and one thing that, every time I have not had one client that I have not told to raise their price. I say, raise your price. People like you, I'm like, I tell I was at the podcast summit down in Atlanta, and I was talking to she was kind of doing like this woman was doing a mini class in the hotel lobby with some of the people that she was coaching, and she said, hey, I see you over there, because I was just eating. She said, I see you over there. What do you say? I said, I always tell people raise their price. She said, I don't tell everybody to raise their price. I said, I do. I tell everybody to raise their price because I believe that number one, when you raise your price, you'll raise your skill level automatically with that. It'll challenge you yourself as well. But I also noticed personally, as a customer, as a client, it wasn't until I made my first 5-figure investment that I really changed in my business. I didn't get any better. I started to take what I was doing more seriously because I made a 5-figure investment that I really couldn't afford to make.
Yeah. When you pay attention.
because the thing is, because I listen and I shared this before. I don't really do a whole lot of mindset stuff. I don't really listen to it, all that type of stuff. But I was in a training and he did the first 2 days mindset, and I said, you know what, Carl, you're gonna sit and you're gonna listen to this. And he called me out, not like directly called me out, but the stuff he was talking about, he called me out. And I was like, okay, yeah, you're right. I'm not really. Do I really believe in what I'm doing if I'm not willing to pay for what's necessary to get there? And so when I paid for that program, I mean, stuff switched immediately. I started implementing his stuff, and I didn't get the results that I wanted, but I got better results than I've ever gotten before. I had really lost the goal. I had really lost the goal, but my conversion was crazy.
Yeah.
The issue, I feel like if I'd had more people in the room, I'd have converted. I'm like, oh shoot, I'm sitting here selling, $6,000 products to people. I've never done it before.
Yeah.
Until I paid $12,000.
Yeah. Hey, I tell people all the time, if you want to be a good seller, you have to be an amazing buyer.
Yeah.
If you want to sell your products for a high price, you need to be buying at a high price, because you're going to know what that feels like as far as the buyer journey of what it feels like to be like, "Ooh, are you? Ooh, listen, I tell you this, man. My private coaching is 120 a year, 10,000 a month, and it's going up. And I make more now than before with less clients.
Yeah.
Because I used to have about 20, 30 clients. Now I only have a handful, but I'm like, that's all I need. Because what I'm doing is I'm putting all my investment in the business mindset collective platform, where I have a lower price point, much lower price point, that's accessible to everybody.
Yeah.
But the whole point of what I was trying to say with that was like, hey, listen, I'm charging these things, but I've also invested in coaching and mentoring and like I've invested probably more than I've already put out, but that's okay, because I know that I'm getting that back, and I know that I couldn't have learned those skill sets on my own. People try. That's another thing. People try to do this on their own. They're like, oh, well, let me prove it to myself. Let me do this, and let me just ask my mom. Mom and dad ain't did this, or mom and dad had a mom and pop store that's been on the corner making the same amount of revenue for 50 years.
Right.
Do
exactly.
not ask advice from people who you make more than. Only get advice from people who are making more than you.
Yep.
I tell people all the time, if they're making less than you, don't ask them for advice. Just be their friend. Because they can't tell me anything that I don't already know. Now, billionaire, look.
Right. All day long.
And they're like, hey, that's going to be $25,000. Where do I send a check? Because what they just told me in 10 minutes, that's going to fast forward my life in 10 years.
Yeah, it's the long game. And my heart, I'll help anybody, but my heart is really for my people. Like I said, my shirt said I'm rooting for everybody from Hampton, right?
Yeah.
So,
I love that.
Like, I love my people. I grew up, in the hood. I don't live too far from where I grew up.
Yeah.
I'm in a different neighborhood, nice neighborhood now. But I'm still easy accessible. I still, my boys that I grew up with who's still around there know how to reach me.
Yeah.
And we still have conversations like it was 30 years ago. But one thing that I've really seen that I really want us to get better at as a people is that belief in ourselves enough to invest in ourselves. We're really good at the means. We're really good at that. We're really good at just shouting out and giving ourselves titles and all this, that, and the other. But when it comes to putting your money where your mouth is, putting your mind where your mouth is, we don't necessarily do. We value sleep too much. Now, don't get me wrong. We need to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Sleep is important. You know what I'm saying? I don't sleep as much as I should. I know that. But sometimes it's like we have to be on this schedule. Like, oh, I got to go to sleep at 9 o'clock. Once 9 o'clock hits, if I'm in the middle of doing something, I'm stopping it. It's like, okay, wait. If you finish this, maybe you can pick up on sleep at another time. Like I tell people all the time, I don't sleep now so I can sleep long later. And it's like people are like, well, I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there. I promise you, I'm gonna get there. Because of the way I even do my schedule, the stuff I do late at night is stuff that I don't want to be doing forever. So it's like, so when that stuff gets off my plate and goes to somebody else, guess what I'm doing at that time? I'm going to sleep. I've gotten more sleep since I hired my assistants. On purpose. It's like, yeah, I can figure that right now. Oh wait, she's building the funnel. I'm going to sleep. Is that? But it's like, but we're not willing to make those initial investments. We're like, I need to have this amount of my savings. I'm like, but your savings is giving you 1% a year, 3% a year APR. Do you know that you could make way more than that easily? You invest 10,000, you could make 20 in a month. But and I want you to talk real quick because I do have a hard stop in 15 minutes. I want you to talk real quick. We talked about before about the perfect life, or what did you say? Live the right way. Can you talk about that real quick?
For me, Carl, The perfect life is going to be subjective and different for everybody.
Right.
But if I can make this general as possible, I would say the perfect life is a life that you create on your own terms.
But before you go there, but what we talked about earlier about how we perceive it.
Oh, you want me
to? Yes.
Okay. All right.
We shift the paradigm, man. We shift the paradigm.
Okay. You want me to bring out receipts? All right. So what we was talking about was, the issue that I've run into, what building out this platform and sharing this with the world is not, is it profitable for me, but is it getting to my people, African-American people?
Mm-hmm.
I've got a bunch of whites, I got Caucasians, I got a bunch of Asians, a lot of Indians, Mexicans, Hispanics. I have all the different ethnicities. I don't have very many Black people. And I'm gonna just be straight up with that. And the reason why is this: we weren't taught to be entrepreneurs. We were taught how to do things in the correct way, because we, for so long, have been told that we're incorrect, that we're not attractive, that we're not doing things the right way, that we don't have the daddies, that we're in jail, and all these different things.
Yep. That
all our generation, especially from the generation from that we came out of at Hampton, and like all of our friends, you can see all of them proud dads, 2-3 kids, everybody's showing on Instagram, everybody, I'm doing things the right way.
Right.
But is it the right way, or is it the traditional way? Is it the conventional way? There's nothing wrong with it, but I'm just saying, when I tried to follow the conventional and traditional way of living, I found out that I wasn't living at all. I was living somebody else's dream. And I realized that I need to let other people's dream of me die in order for mine to live. And that was a very hard second awakening and second coming, because that means I had to rewrite everything that I was doing on my own terms. I had to rewrite my relationships on my own terms. I had to rewrite my business on my own terms. I had to rewrite everything. Mom is like, hey, when you get married, I'm like, I don't know if I want to get married. I want to have kids with my partner. She was like, so you want to have kids first and get married? I was like, yeah, why not? Why can't I do that? She's like, because that's not the way you're supposed to do it. I'm like, well, who wrote that? Who said that? And why did you believe that? Like, the government is in every part of my business. Why do I want them to be in my bedroom? She didn't have anything to say to that, but she was like, boy, you need to pray. I was like, I already did. So, and I've rewritten the way that I approach business. I said, hey, listen, if I come out of corporate, everybody said that if you're leaving corporate, you got to have a business plan. You got to have a certain amount of savings. I didn't do any of those things. I didn't have a business plan. I just left and quit because that's what I felt. Now, was that the right way to do it for everybody? No. But was that the right way for me? Yes, because I've rewritten my script on my own terms. With my relationship, we're like, hey, listen, if we're going out, I'm going home. I'm not a late out anymore. She's like, all right, I want to continue staying out, partying, this and that. Most people are like, wait, you're not going home with your girl? I'm like, that's a grown ass woman. She can do what she wants to do. She was grown before she met me. If she wants to have, but that's not right. I'm like, to who? So rewriting relationships on your own terms, rewriting business, rewriting your own personal life on your own terms is scary, because no one else has done it but you. And that's the issue that we run into with entrepreneurship, is a lot of people are still writing the script from their parents and their grandparents of how things are supposed to be done, that they're not willing to take the risk, and they're not willing to confront the fear of what's on the other side of this opportunity if they decided to create their own.
Wow.
Because it's not safe, it's not stable, and it's not conventional. That is what we're up against. And that's why I'm so happy to be on this program, because hopefully this gets out to more of our people. Saying, hey, come join, come ask me some questions, come to the Business Mindset Collective. I'll put you on, I promise you. But you got to be willing to confront the fear and take the first step. And if you're already a business owner, then let's go to the next level of your success and let's accelerate that 10 times.
Now, when you talk about the collective, one thing that I like to talk about is your perfect customer, right? Or at least a good customer for you. One thing that I noticed, is I like, one of the reasons I wrote my book 7-day business plan was
Yeah.
because I want people to come to me with certain things, right?
Yeah.
And you don't have to finish the book to come, but if you can get to chapter 3, you're ready to work with me,
Okay.
right? It's
Yeah.
not even a full finish. Like you have two things. There's just two things I need you to have when you walk up to me that makes both of our lives a lot easier. So like it's just knowing what your product is and knowing
Mhm.
who your market is. We can help tailor, tweak it, all that type of stuff, and then we can move forward. Really helping you to scale and all that type of stuff. So that's really what the book is about. Yes, it can be used to write a full business plan, but more than anything, it's used to prepare you to really work with the person who you need to work with. To
Yeah.
come with something in hand. So if somebody wants to come to you, because like you said, I mean, I looked at your site, the price to get in is very, very low.
Mm.
It's a low investment from even what I saw, but they even have you talk about it. It's a low investment, for definitely extremely low investment for what you get.
Exactly.
Not just because you said it's not just a 21-day program. It's also being mentored by people who are where you wish you were on a consistent basis. Learning skills, talent, and there's such a power to proximity. You
Yeah.
know, just being around, being in the same room, being in the same chat room, the same group. Because what I learned is, I had to change who I'm around, who I'm, communicating with and things. And not saying I cut anybody off, but where my focus shifted was to
Mm.
people who are doing what I'm doing, who are doing what I want to do, or who are doing better than me. It's like, okay, I need people who've gone past where I am. And sometimes they don't know that they're doing better than me. I
Yeah.
know they're doing better than me. I'm just sitting there. I'm glad to be in the room. They're glad to have me there. They value my input, but they don't understand, man. I'm gleaming. And so being in those rooms, that's
Yeah.
that's 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 amazing. So who are the people? What should they come with?
Yeah.
Um, in order to be able to take advantage. Because one thing I hate what people do is waste their money.
Yeah. Yeah. That's an excellent question. And I love how you pointed out that it's a low investment because it's true. It's a low investment, high value.
Right. Yes.
It's a low investment, extremely high value of all the things that you're getting at this point. Because like I said, I have two different options. You can work with me one-on-one, and I'm gonna tax your ass. That's gonna be about 10,000 a month. Oh, not too many people can do that. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? So I needed to create a way where I was like, how can this be accessible to the world, but I'm still providing a ton of value. So with the Business Mindset Collective and taking the courses and the mentoring and all those different things, that's $3,000, or you can do a payment plan, et cetera. The only thing that we ask you to do, and this is for the entire year, you get access for an entire year. It's a membership, an annual membership, is are you coachable and are
Mm-hmm.
you available? That's it. Are you coachable? Are you available? If you can be available to do this consistently throughout the year, every month, and make this and turn this into a lifestyle, and are you coachable where you are looking to change? That's all we need to do. That's all I need. Now, to work with me personally, all right, I mean, I'm gonna make you run through some hoops. You got to do an
Right.
application. I'm gonna put you on a
Mm-hmm.
wait list. I might not pick up the first time just to see, hey, you good? Do you really want it? Because
Right.
working with me, that's my direct energy every single day. That's something different. Again, when you pay attention. So those people that are working with me are, probably multi six figures and up, but
Mm-hmm.
they have come to do some damage. They have come to do some work. And I normally don't have that issue with them. But when they come with me, yeah, you gotta apply. Yeah, you gotta speak to my assistant first. Yeah, I'm gonna put you on the wait list because I got other things to do. And if you're still around by the time I actually do speak with you, a couple of weeks or a couple of months later, me and you are going to do some incredible things on this earth. So it's two different barriers to entry for both of them. But one of them I'm asking you just to be available and to be coachable. And the other one, I'm like, you need to really prove it that you want it.
So tell the people how they can reach you, how they can be a part of this. This podcast is for entrepreneurs, people who want to be, who are, some people just kind of listen and they maybe have been inspired because as we talked about what is an executive, they've changed their mind of what, like, oh wait, maybe this is for me. So how do they get in contact with, look, your assistant? No, okay. But how can they get in, get in and start this amazing mindset change?
Yeah, I'm gonna point everybody to the Business Mindset Collective because that's the most affordable, highest value thing that you can do.
Mm-hmm.
And you can access that on any of my social media platforms. You can reach me at Michael A. Blunt. You know how they do Michael B. Jordan, Michael A. Blunt. At Instagram or YouTube. I just started a YouTube channel a month ago, so please subscribe. I got like 40 subscribers, but it's growing.
Nice.
But I just started that. I got over 100,000 followers on Instagram and Facebook. So, you can get a lot of free content on that. And then the way that you can apply to Business Mindset Collective is on my website. That's at michaelablunt.com/BMC, Business Mindset Collective, BMC. And I'm sure, I'll pass the link over to Carl, but just apply, check out the site, see if, you qualify for your business to be accelerated in this way and to be mentored by me and to be mentored by a collective consortium of mindset coaches. And I promise you, guaranteed, will get you from 0 to 6 figures to $1 million or $1 million plus. But you have to be coachable and available.
Man, bruh, this has been an amazing time. We have to do a part 2 of this because,
buddy.
Because look, in pre-production, we talking about some stuff we ain't even touched yet.
I know.
So funny story. Like I said, and I'm gonna close with this. I was not really into mindset, but my sister's heavy into it. I listened to Social Proof podcast with Dave and Donnie. Donnie, she's heavy. She, did the with Proctor Gallagher stuff, Institute and things. She's heavy into that. And actually, one of my boys, he actually went to Hampton as well. I talked to him, and he's actually on one of the episodes. He's heavy in the mindset. He does the Proctor Gallagher stuff. So I'm learning more and more how important it is. One of the things that I saw that turned me off to it was so many times people did mindset without work. And I'm like, why are you sitting here manifesting and talking all day and saying these great things in the mirror, but you're not putting your hands to anything? Like, that's rough to me. Like, even if you fail at it, at least doing something, right? Because I didn't know how many things I failed at that have turned into profitable things for me. Like, I did a whole little seminar that nobody showed up to, but I still did it. And now I can sell it. I'm like, oh wait, it still works. People sell it because I did it as if I was doing it from 1,000 folks.
Yeah.
My mindset was, I know this is good for somebody. I know it's good for somebody. But like I said, man, got a hard stop right now, man. But I'm so glad that you came on, bro. This was amazing. We're gonna have to do it again. Again, y'all, go to michaelablunt.com. Sign up to be a part of the collective. It'll change you. I think it's gonna be on my New Year's resolution. I want to join.
Hey, is it on camera? Production team, don't cut that out.
No, don't cut it out. No, really. Like, I mean, I look for things that I fit into. A lot of things are good, but then there's things that I feel like I fit. And I think that this may be something that would be a part of the fit for
Remember,
me.
Success is 80% mindset, 20% actions. That's it. You got the action, but we're just trying to make the actions more efficient. So, we'll leave the viewers with that. We're going to do a part 2 with the amazing man, Carl Gray III.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna drop this so you can put this on your channel too. We're gonna dual stream this thing, bro.
Do it. Hey, get the production going so I can put this on my social media and I can put it out to the world, bro.
Most definitely, man. Appreciate you, man.
All that stuff.
Yes, sir. All right, y'all. This has been Friends with Businesses, where you meet my friends, and I can guarantee the day that you benefited. So this was Michael A. Blunt. Please go visit michaelablunt.com. Like, subscribe, share this with your friends. You know they're gonna need this as well. But thanks so much, Mike, for coming on. Have a good one, bro.
HU dat, man. I'll see you, bro.
Peace.
Later.